Dude, there's some interesting stuff about Erica Kirk.
Her whereabouts is in question.
They are saying this might be the coldest air that our region has felt in years.
From the time that Flight 77 flew from the Kentucky-Ohio border to the Pentagon. There's no evidence of it whatsoever.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. We got an hour banger coming up for you guys today. Now, I guess it's well known in Texas. When Senator Ted Cruz catches a flight when there's a storm incoming, it's going to be a bad storm. I'm already dealing with some rain, some cold weather out here. Let's get into the video today, y'all. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow, and I appreciate it. But with that being said, let's do what we came here for. Let's get into the video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I heard some crazy stories about Dubai.
What you heard?
Not just you know, like
Hey,
the
fellas,
women going over there making that money.
fellas, Rook is right, and I am a witness. If your significant other or lady you are interested in is traveling to Dubai, she may actually be eating actual human feces out of a bowl and coming home to kiss you in the mouth. So many diseases can get transported by that. That is a real thing. You feel me? Like, they fetishize melanated ladies over there for sure. Like, they get obsessed with them by seeing them on the Instagram. And, you know, like I've said in previous interviews, if a guy has too much of something, he may try other things. You see what I'm saying? So, like, people get creative. People get creative, because if you eating a cup of shit, like, you might as well just charge yourself to the game, because I can't even really respect a person that's eating a cup of shit. Like, I'm like nothing you finna say to me, like, I don't even want to hear it. You're not even a human being no more now. Like, you something else, but that's going on.
Lake Von. This
They are saying this might be the coldest air that our region has felt in years. Made a video probably like a month ago when we had a Arctic blast. But now they saying this one is worse than the last one. And the part that really got my attention is what's coming after this. Meteorologists are saying the coldest air mass on Earth is about to center around Ontario. Said the temperatures is going to drop as low as minus 50 degrees Celsius, y'all. Now, I don't know about y'all, but where I'm from in the DMV, a couple weeks ago, I swear food was warm as hell. Now we about to feel that cold air coming from up there too. He said this the type of cold that only be in Siberia. So just imagine. The wild part about this is that forecasters are saying this might only be round one, y'all. They said the following week, it's gonna be a second round of this shit. I'm praying for the people that's outside, fool. Cause that's the type of cold that's gonna make your ass frozen. Sitting there stiff. I know the weather is messed up when you see Florida getting snow twice within like 2 months. That's crazy, fool. So my question is, are y'all ready for this? Cause as you can see, all of this is about to get hit. Are y'all finna be walking around in sweaters like it's goddamn fall or something? Let me know down below in the comments.
Now, all of my TikTok is showing prepping for the winter, right? I'll remember, y'all remember just a few days ago, there was a phone outage, right? Then yesterday, I couldn't really work from home because the Wi-Fi was blinkering out. They're literally telling us there's getting ready to be power outage with this storm. Somebody pushed the button, and now, oh, we already prepped them, so they should already know. Y'all, if you don't see, go get you, the phones ain't gonna even be working. So if you're by yourself or with your family, just have a system to communicate. If y'all shut down and can't communicate with your loved ones, y'all need to talk to them really quick anyway if the power actually goes out, because y'all got to think about it. Y'all don't know how to live without a phone. Go get some books, coloring books, things like that. But already told us it's going to be power outages. It was out all day. Internet was funky yesterday. If you're not seeing, see. That's all I got to say.
My parents are my family's probably the only people flying to the state of Texas. They're probably going to be the only ones on that plane flying to Texas. Everyone's flying out of here, right? They're probably going to be the only ones flying in here. But I'm kind of excited because we're from Arizona, y'all. It doesn't really storm like that out there. So they're going to see some, I don't know if we're getting snow, we're getting sleet, but they're going to see some real rain out here because it's projected all weekend, some rain. So they're going to see some real rain because the storms out here, because I'm from Arizona, they are 10 times worse out here than over there. So they're going to trip out with that.
Fuck Ted Cruz on the plane. I saw that video. Why he on that plane? What he know that we don't know? No, brother. Come back. Ain't no need to leave. You gonna have to be here with us and suffer the consequences. Goddamn it.
Vato, why did you go buy all that stuff? It's not even gonna be that cold, way. No, hombre, te paniqueas, way, neta. Bro, they said that Texas has never seen this type of cold before. Vato, they say that so dumbasses like you could go buy the old inventory when they have new inventory, like Vato. They say, it's gonna be cold. Record-breaking weather. Texas has never seen this cold before. Like, please stay inside. Vato, es puro pedo. They just want you to go buy the old stuff so they could put the new stuff, pa. Come on, pa. Get it together, no, hombre, Vato. Okay, Vato, if that's true, then why was Ted Cruz on a plane to fucking Cancun? What do you mean Ted Cruz was on a plane, wey? Yeah, Vato, they took a picture of Ted Cruz on a fucking plane leaving Texas, Vato. Hola, verga, Vato. Then we should be panicking, wey. No, man. That's what I'm saying, wey. Hola, verga. The whole power grid is gonna go out. It's gonna be a fucking blizzard in Texas, but we're not ready for no fucking snow. Oh, I gotta go. Hey, bro, chill, bro. I gotta go. Drive, drive. Oh, no, this is my house, Wayne. Oh, yeah, that's true. Everybody panic!
These music executives were vacationing in Barbados, and they saw Rihanna and her friends on the beach and approached her. But she was a teenager, and she was able to leave Barbados with these grown white men to go to New York City, where they kept her in the room for 24 hours straight and signed her on the spot. It's hard for island girls to actually leave the island. So who paid money for this girl to leave?
The video you just watched exposes the secret behind Rihanna's rise to fame. In the early 2000s, Jay-Z was at the peak of his power. So why would he keep Rihanna, only 17 years old, locked in an office until 3 a.m.? The rumor is that she didn't just sign a contract that night. She was transferred. In the industry, that's not called an audition. It's called an initiation. Look closely. Overnight, her innocence vanished, replaced by the image of good girl gone bad. Jay-Z doesn't sign artists. He manufactures instant superstars using a much darker method. When he signed Rihanna, he allegedly said there were only two options that night. She either left with a contract or she jumped out the window. At that point, there was no negotiation. That level of urgency for an unknown teenager from Barbados makes no sense. Rihanna's explosive success immediately afterward can't just be a coincidence. Answer this in the comments. Why did Jay-Z want Rihanna so badly? Because threatening someone into signing a contract never ends well.
Here's some insane news that no one is talking about. New Gaza was presented today at the World Economic Forum. Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, presented what this is going to look like, a full redevelopment plan for Gaza and what they want to turn it into. These are official CGI renderings shown to the world leaders. 100,000 housing units, luxury towers, waterfronts, resorts, a completely reimagined Gaza. I mean, this looks like Dubai. And yes, there's a lot of controversy for obvious reasons. The first question, was this the plan all along? After mass destruction, there's now 68 million tons of rubble and scraps, and now there's a master plan ready to go. That timing alone is making people a little uncomfortable. Second question, this one is huge. Who exactly is funding this? Because right now, we don't actually know who is contributing. There's talks of international boards, voluntary contributions, even billion-dollar seats. But no clear list of donors, no public funding breakdown, and no real transparency. That's the number one issue. The third question that barely anyone talks about is, where's the Palestinians going to live? Because the plan does not clearly address property rights, compensation for Palestinians who lost their homes, businesses, and livelihoods during the war, or where displaced families would live while Gaza is being rebuilt. Those aren't small details. Those are the foundation of everything. Now, they're going to be starting in Rafah, of course, a place where there is significant amount of military control by the Israelis, and then they're going to work their way north.
We have weapons that nobody knows about.
There was a weapon used, a sonic weapon, that took out many of the Cuban bodyguards that were used to defend Maduro. Lots of people saw the details about that weapon and were concerned. Is that something that Americans should be afraid of, something the United States is combating?
Yeah, it's something I don't want to, nobody else has it. We have weapons that nobody knows about. And I say it's probably good not to talk about it, but we have some amazing weapons. That was an amazing attack. Don't forget, that house was in the middle of a fort, an army base, a big one, a lot of soldiers, and they came in and they did their job. We lost nobody.
Like, what benefit did the American people get from that? Right? No drugs coming in. I'm sure they're still doing drug busts at this border over here every damn day. Like, what benefits did we get from that? Oil, gas prices, they gonna come down?
Nature made everything for us, bro. This is a loofah. A natural sponge. Clean your body. Look at that. You probably eat it too.
I think that our society is designed to distract you from the fact that you're going to die. Because if you thought really and internalized the fact that you're going to die, you wouldn't pay attention to the meaningless shit that keeps the machine moving. Like, you would just stop buying a lot of what they're selling. I think that we deny death because it's a great mystery. We're terrified of it. And we culturally just reaffirm it over and over by hiding it from people. There is something I will tell you, being a hospital, I think, here's a hot take. I think when you turn 18, you should have to do a year or two of mandatory hospice volunteering.
Damn.
I think if you spent time with the terminally ill when you were 18, 19 years old, it changed my entire way of viewing the world.
Because they gave you a glimpse into the finiteness, and that changes how you behave.
Just realize that just
everything's
so much of this
nonsense.
shit doesn't matter. Like, spend time with people that are dying. They don't really, all their stuff is a great big pile of nothing. Like, all that they can talk about is like the people that they love, the connections that they made, the experiences that they had that were beautiful or painful. Like, and you, when you're around them, like, you could have a lot of stuff going on in your day, but I would do like a hospice visit. And by the way, like, as a hospice volunteer, you don't like sit and talk about, how are you feeling about the fact you're dying? Very rarely did anybody want to talk about, like, you're dealing with this big thing. Let me help with some of these other things. But I would walk out of every single hospice visit. Like, all the other stuff going on in my life right now, I don't have that. Like, I don't have what's going on behind that door right here on a street, just like the street you live on. Like, this is it. This is it. And everything else falls away. All the bullshit falls away. All the things that were so important 5 minutes ago, when you got that diagnosis, or you got told we can't do anything more. Like, when my mom had her last cancer surgery before she passed away 10 years ago, they had said this is going to be about a 12-hour surgery. And there's going to be a team of surgeons working because there's different spots we have to. So we like tucked in at the waiting room at Sloan Kettering. We're like, okay, we're going to be here a really long time. 20 minutes later, they came in and they said, it's like a bomb went off. Like, the cancer is everywhere. We opened her up. We closed her up. There's nothing we could do. And in that moment, all of the other things that I was stressed about and worried about and all that, the volume was turned so far down on all those things because my mom was going to die. Like, and all that became important was, how can I spend a little more time with her? How can I make sure she knows I love her? How can I savor this wonderful thing, which, by the way, you're dying. Like, Lisa's dying. There is a finite number of times you will kiss your wife. You don't know the number, but it's a number. Like, I'll be able to tell you it someday. Like, there's a finite number though. Like, and you won't know until you've crossed over it, until you've passed it, that was it. That was the last time. Like, and that, to me, like, if you don't keep that in your line of sight, you're a fool. You're a fool, because you're going to think you get to do that forever. You're going to think you get to do that all the time, and you don't. You will not do that forever. Like,
Man,
there's a finite number of times, and that's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's what makes that so special, is that it's finite. Like, if it lasted forever, like, to live forever would be a curse. Like, being Dracula is a curse, But the truth is, like, she's alive right now. Right now, she's alive. She's in the other room. She's right there, and you get to kiss her as many times as you want to. And isn't that the greatest thing in the world?
Dude, there's some...
there's like, my son I always watch these, like, shorts, like dad shorts, right? Like, dad saying, like, one day he's not going to want to be pushed on that swing no more. He's going to learn how to do it himself and not want you to push him, right? Because and just like a week ago, right? My son always slept in between me and the mom, right? He was always right there in the middle with us, and he's starting to roll. He was starting to sit up, so we had to, get a crib we have a crib, but we got another crib to put in the bedroom, right? We got to get two anyways. We got another baby on the way, but now he sleeps in the crib. He doesn't sleep with us. And I was telling her, like, man, that last night, you take it for granted, right? He'll probably never sleep between us again. I'm sure maybe when there's a storm or something and he's scared, but like things like that. Like I remember a little rant right now. We're going to go on a little rant. I remember I went to church, right? I went to church and it was kind of, the topic was kind of that, like cherish these things because, he gave this story, the preacher gives stories, right? Like the husband would wake up, she'd make him breakfast before work, and every day she said it would just drive me nuts. He would just leave that plate on the table and go to work. And she's like, I felt like he did that on purpose. To make me mad, right? But he passed away. And she's like, I would do anything in this world to have to clean up that plate one more time, right? Like things you take for granted every day, like when they're gone, y'all. And that's something, like he said, if you're not thinking like that, you're a fool. Like you got to think, like now I kind of cherish the holding my boy. Now he crawls. So he doesn't really want to be held no more. Like just sitting on the couch watching, something on the TV with them. And he's just sitting there, y'all. Like just things that I try to remember to cherish, because one of these days he ain't going to want to be picked up no more. You know what I mean?
About Erica Kirk. Her whereabouts is in question. Right before Charlie died, she was there. She had some type of weird secret meeting. Also, her mom specializes in EMPs. I don't know if you know about Fort Huachuca, the largest drone training facility. They specialize in electronic warfare as well. My theory was that Charlie Kirk died by a drone. There's a muzzle flash behind him, which is very odd because they're all from Arizona. Fort Huachuca's right there. She may or may not have been there allegedly right before Charlie dies.
Y'all know what I just thought about? Like y'all know how they say, the people that's higher up in the world is like all the secret society motherfuckers, high command people supposed to be like reptilians, right? Why you can make your face look like a reptilian, man? You feel me? And not only that, like let's go back. Let's go inside the customization hub.
This dude's all creating a player, a grown man creating a player.
The gold signal, right? Why they like the Baphomet, though?
Yeah, it does.
Tell me they don't like the Baphomet. Come on, bro. I know I ain't tripping, man. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
This is insane. This kid right here got the first ever non-blurry alien footage. I'm telling you, this is some crap. But first, the news is at it again. They are airing a football type UFO thing on the news. You know what it means when they're reporting on something, right? Everyone's trying to say it's Project BB, right? Well, the news says that as well. So obviously they want you to think they're holograms. Wonder why? We'll get right back to the guy's footage in a second. And we'll also go over what I believe they are.
It's not weird, but I just had stuff hat underneath my wing, maybe.
It's just amazing that it's happening at the time of the Dior bags, which are still in the sky, just no one talks about them no more. Now what you really want to see.
So we alien, and I recorded it on my TV with a tripod because I recorded on that camera, and I can't get off the disc.
This is just the first clip, but wait till you see the second clip when it's out in the open and super tall.
Can you come out of the grass?
Notice how it ran away when he was talking to it. It's right here. He's about to zoom in so you can see it better. And it matches the description of everyone who's been abducted.
Crap. What do you want?
Pretty bizarre stuff.
For the health conscious, you probably wouldn't buy a Pepsi, but you'll buy a Poppy. You probably wouldn't buy a Mars bar, but you'll buy a RX bar. You probably wouldn't buy a Cheeto, but you'll buy Siete. You might be starting to realize these are all the same companies. This is the pattern. Clean ingredient, independent brands break through. This results in an exit to big food. Brand then gets optimized, reducing costs and often degrading quality. As consumers, I believe we need to be more resistant to brands that make it to this stage, which sucks because these products are all great. But unfortunately, this supports the wrong food system and prevents us from having a local, resilient one.
Then they said the ant people came from subterranean places on the earth to help them survive cataclysms and to survive the gods.
Who are they talking about?
Now they're talking about these angels that was walking around, and this is where we got the demigods that come about because they were birthed from humans and angels.
Are we talking about? Are we asking for the in the flesh and in the spirit? Is that what we're saying?
Good question.
That's what I'm asking, BH.
Good question.
They one and the same.
One and the same. Okay, so good. Now that leads me to my point. And when you talk about what killers and people, man, how is it? Anybody ever read this book called Burning at the Stake in the United States? It's a book that documents lynchings of all the people, these false lynchings that back in this, we're talking about as recent as up in the 1940s.
False lynchings.
Yeah, the false lynchings and just lynchings. And they describe news articles. And I looked at one of these lynchings. I read this book over 20-something years ago. And how could a person, I saw women, men, small girls, and little boys posing with a man who was burned to a crisp where his body was bent like a match.
Okay, did you guys hear what the first man to make it to the stratosphere had to say about what it looked like up there? On May 27th, 1931, Auguste Piccard made it to the stratosphere, 51,700 feet. And that is significantly higher than the maximum flight altitude for a commercial airliner today. In this popular science article, he describes what it looked like up there as follows. It seemed a flat disk with upturned edge. Then, in 1933, Russian cosmonauts, or what were they called? Aeronauts, reached an altitude of 62,000 feet. That is higher than the maximum cruising altitude for Concorde jets and the alleged max altitude of the MiG-29. And this is how the magazine Popular Science described the aeronauts' experience. Looking down, they tried in vain to detect any curvature of the Earth's horizon. But what's interesting is the word horizon doesn't really leave much room for curve. Horizon is horizontal. It's flat. Airplane, not air planet. Interesting, I will say. Now, one of the most shocking things I heard is that the U.S. Navy has a laser beam, and in the manual, they say that they can shoot down a missile going Mach 4 at 50 feet above the surface of the ocean from a distance of 100 miles away. Do you realize lasers aren't curving, right? And so the curvature of the Earth is supposed to be 8 inches per mile squared. There's no possible way, like someone's lying here, because if you're shooting a missile down with a laser beam 100 miles away, there should be 6,666 inches of curvature between where the laser's going, like where it's pointed from, and the target over here. There would be a bunch of curve in the way. Laser beams don't curve. So what does the Navy know? Now, both the Russians and Mr. Auguste Piccard were trying to find the curvature, but couldn't. So at least they were honest about it. Now, if they had fisheye lenses, perhaps they would see a curve through the fisheye lens, but that seems to be about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Every movie you've ever watched is a defilement ritual. The music you listen to is hypnosis, and the movies are defilement rituals. Listen, almost every movie from Warner Brothers or Disney that you've ever watched, or the other ones, okay, 20th Century Fox, have all come from Freemasonic temples. That's literally where they filmed them, in temples. The MTV studios for MTV is a Freemasonic temple. The Jimmy Kimmel Live building is a Freemasonic temple. And on the outside, it says, we build our temples. Freemasons build their temples among the nations and in the hearts of men. So what they're saying is they're building a temple in your heart by producing their magic into your life. All the news outlets, Freemasonic temples. I'm not kidding. If you actually did some research, you would find out that every bit of Hollywood movie you've ever seen is being produced by Freemasons and from Freemason temples. Now, why is that important? You go, oh, well, no big deal. No big deal. No, it is a big deal, because Aleister Crowley is kind of this link to expose the secrets. It sucks, but God forces these things to happen. Crowley is very open about his practices. He's very open about the fact that he learned all of his magic from his time as being a Freemason. What is some of the magic Crowley learned? He learned defilement rituals, pentagram defilement rituals. He was a magician, a magic practitioner, okay? And it wasn't just aligning his chakras, guys. No. We are talking about a man who understood what control he got if he would get somebody addicted to drugs, like heroin and cocaine specifically, okay? He understood the control he got when he would get people to worship themselves and worship false gods. All these things he claims to have learned while being a Freemason. Whoa, wait a minute. So you're telling me that they're purposely pumping drugs into the country? You're telling me that they understand they gain control when they get us to lust after each other and to watch a bunch of adult content? Oh, they're doing that on purpose? I don't know. Seems kind of fishy to me, because let me describe to you what a defilement ritual is that Aleister Crowley would practice. Specifically in the order of a pentagram, a 5-pointed star, okay? It's 5 major folds of defilement that I know this nation was built on. Why do I know it? Because I used to practice these defilement rituals. I understand I understand the documents, the legal rights that are being made when these certain defilements are applied onto someone's life. And I can look into our nation of America and see this ritual happening on a massive scale. They're going to kick me off tonight. If I make it through, I will be blown away. At this point, guys, I don't care. I will lose the 160,000 subscribers I have on TikTok because I don't care anymore. Satan, you don't tell me what to do, bro. You don't tell me what to do. You're not going to dangle my account over my head and say, you know what, Wyatt, you're going to lose your account if you don't watch what you say. No, you need to bow, devil. Bow to Jesus Christ. Bow and burn. I do not care. I will rebuild. You want to know why? Because God has promised me that my life will be ministry, powerful, leading many to salvation. And you taking my account, Satan, does not take away God's promise on my life. So I'll just rebuild. So let me...
Early American history is full of anomalies. The Lincoln Monument, built with no roads anywhere. Funny how it looks just like the Temple of Baalbek, the Temple of Satan. All of this type of architecture was a direct design of Rome. And from what we know from the Bible, Rome, Babylon, these were all beast systems put in place to control man, to control the flow of information, of technology, of scripture, of God, and especially our history, the cycles of Earth that we experience, the 500-year cycles that have been going on since the beginning. I think it's very peculiar that the cosmic cycle and the little season of Satan both ends at exactly the same time. God bless, good luck, Samo.
Snakes just not.
Would you eat it?
No, I don't like snakes at all. Would you?
Yeah.
You probably had it already.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a secret about Steven Spielberg? He eats whole.
What about bugs? Like, my mom loves bugs.
No.
There's like actually nothing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Is that terrible?
I may end up running off with you myself, you know.
That's what Steven says.
It's Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public place, you did it. Is this the best or the worst? What do you do?
The best.
Okay, the best? Probably the Obama thing.
John, what's the, oh God.
Does it have to come to a stop?
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I swear to Lucifer, I swear to Lucifer.
First of all, David's description of what you can do with metadata, and quoting a mutual friend, Stuart Baker, is absolutely correct. Okay, we kill people based on metadata. But that's not what we do with this metadata.
From the time that Flight 77 flew from the Kentucky-Ohio border to the Pentagon, there's no evidence of it whatsoever. And so
there's no radar image at all of Flight 77 flying toward the Pentagon?
Not from the Ohio-Kentucky border, which is where last
Louisville area.
To the Pentagon, like the DC airspace was when they picked it up again. And I think what's interesting is that initially Flight 77, 3 things happened to that plane at the Ohio-Kentucky border. And typically, historically speaking, when those three things happen, it's always an airplane crash. So the first thing that happened was the transponder was disengaged. The second thing that happened was the primary radar of that plane went away. Primary radar is when radar waves hit an object in the sky, if it's a bird, if it's a plane, what have you, and it bounces back. So at this one place over the Ohio-Kentucky border, the transponder disconnected and the skin radar for Flight 77 disappeared, which means it was no longer in the sky. And then the third thing that is really, really odd is that the ELT went off, the pinger, and that only ever usually goes off if there's a catastrophic emergency on the plane, right?
It went off not at the Pentagon, but at the Kentucky-Ohio border.
Right, with the transponder and the actual primary skin radar disappearing off the scope. And so simultaneously to that, there are reports in the, police reports from the area that there was a plane crash. And in fact,
there was a plane crash where?
In the Ohio-Kentucky border, where all those three things happened. It was pinpointed and there was a plane crash there, and the state police were rushing towards the crash.
There were reports of that?
Yeah, there are actually police reports that you can read. And then at the very same time in the Situation Room, it was also reported that Flight 77, or a plane that they thought was Flight 77, crashed at the Kentucky-Ohio border. And then subsequent to that, the commission came out and said, no, that was just false reporting.
The moon is a satellite. It's not what it appears to be. The moon is where you go to get sucked out when you end your life. You see people say they see that tunnel. Well, the moon is that tunnel that people see. You know, the near-death experience. You know that near-death experience that people say they have? That tunnel is the moon. The moon pulls your energies in. That's what it does. It pulls energy. That's what it does. Pull tide. It pulls your soul in. Shoots your soul into the sun again. The moon and all the other planets with moons allow souls to travel in and out from different locations. There's different routes, and the moons take you to different routes, to different stars, to different galaxies, to different houses.
There is a really interesting theory going around from some people who believe that the Garden of Eden is located underneath the ice of Antarctica. News broke the other day that a prehistoric world was discovered right beneath the ice of Antarctica, full of mountains, lakes, and valleys. And it's no secret that Antarctica used to be a place vibrant with green grass, all type of plants, and even multiple animals. If the Garden of Eden is located in Antarctica, it would make sense as to why they don't want anyone going there. In the Bible, God put an angel with a flaming sword at the entrance of the garden so no man can enter it again. So if the Garden of Eden was discovered by the general public and people trying to enter it got stopped by an angel, there'd be no question about the existence of God.
The Israelis train with the SEALs. They do a lot of wet ops, murders, over here because of some sort of arrangement. The young boys, I met 3 young assassins on a bus, going up back and forth to Sarah as I went on the bus because they were sabotaging my car so often. So I sat next to 2 young assassins, one from Romania, one from Haiti. And I let them know that I understand, how it is. And this little boy cried. I won't mention which one it was because it may get back to him. But he told me it was the same scenario. His mother, he lives on $850 a month. Now these are mercenaries working. The taxpayers are paying mercenaries. The taxpayers are paying young men who are not citizens of the United States to kill innocent people, women and children. They get on a flight from Norfolk and Oceana. They fly to Stuttgart, and I was told this is what they do. Then they go by a special helicopter to countries like Turkey, like the part of Iraq, to Algeria, to parts of Africa, and they do wet ops. They'll just, murder 5, 10, 20 people. And then they blame it on the Arabs or they blame it on somebody else. But it's actually NATO rogue assassins.
Who is the Pope? He is the Emperor of Rome. Rome never died, never faded away. It became the Vatican. What is the Vatican? It is the priesthood of all of the old pagan religions of Rome, built upon the deception that they are Christian. Can man change the orders of God? Can man elevate himself above God? No. Then why did the Pope change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, the venerable day of the worship of the sun Osiris? Why in the outer courtyard of the Vatican is there a temple of the sun, an obelisk, and a reflecting pool built as a fountain around the base of the obelisk? Because what we're talking about in Dealey Plaza and in Washington, D.C. exists also in the Vatican. And I'm not trying to insult Catholics, I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
Rome never fell. It went underground and became the church and used religion to take over the world.
So there's evil and demonic symbolism hidden in plain sight in logos and symbols that we look at every single day. The Disney logo, 666. And then when they want to use Walt Disney and they do a different D, 666. The App Store logo, it's actually just the Masonic symbol. And the Freemasons G is actually just the Google G. The symbol for Google Chrome is 666. Chrome stands for is Adrena. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. The CERN logo is just sixes. And then right outside of the CERN headquarters is the Hindu god of destruction, Lord Shiva. This is pretty much the equivalent of having Satan himself outside of your headquarters. Coca-Cola, 666. When cola mirrors itself, you get Baphomet himself. Pepsi, 3 sixes, also with an all-seeing eye. Heineken, inverted, is 666 with an upside-down star. And we all know what an upside-down star symbolizes. Mickey Mouse, MM on its side is 33. Ford, 666. Tesla logo is an upside down triple K hat. Kellogg's upside down, you get 3 sixes. Kleenex upside down, you get 3 sixes. CBS, the all-knowing, the all-seeing eye of Satan. When TV began, the Illuminati and the Masons already had their plan. Time Warner Cable, another all-seeing eye. You don't accidentally create 3 sixes in your logo. Google Play is the exact symbol of the seal of Satan. And you get that none of this stuff is a reach. Like, it's all completely intentional. They do all of this stuff to mock us and put it right in our faces. Everything is in plain sight for us, and it all comes back to this.
Sorry, I'm texting the family. Apologize.
Did you see the new, this is the new way that they're thinking that incarceration could happen? This is with AI and technology. This is fascinating. See if you can find that story of the pods.
What is this?
Yes, the future of incarceration.
This is no longer about us, honestly. I think it's too late, but it's about our generations to come. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. There is a company called Cognify. If you Google it and watch their video, and it's the future of incarceration, is what it's titled. With this Cognify system, let's say you do a crime, or maybe you act out against the government, or you have a belief system that is not consistent with the country that you live in, and you are prosecuted for a crime by their definition. You will then get an opportunity to choose. Let's just use this for hypothetical. A measly petty theft. You can spend 50 years in prison, or you can go through the Cognify process, which in 3 minutes, they will imprint memory sets. So let's say there was someone who was even harmed by the crime that you did. You will be able to feel the emotions of your victim, the emotions that the family members went through, all of that. You will be forced to have the empathy, and you will feel like you've been imprisoned for 25 years or whatever it may be, but it's only 3 minutes.
Fuck that. They need that. They need that shit for when my girlfriend comes up to me after she had her period the next day and goes, "I'm so sorry about last night. I'm on my period." Okay, well, you need to feel what I was feeling last night for getting yelled at.
Get into the Cognify machine. But dude, eventually if they have an at-home one, that'd be crazy. But this is saying,
this is like reverse ice bathing. Like, you sit in this and feel awful about yourself.
Okay, so
That's like the movie, the Adam Sandler movie Click, right? Like, he went through his whole life. He'd be like, I want to lose weight. When I lose this weight, take me to when I lose this weight, and then boom, he's like 80 years old, like at the click of a button, right? It's kind of like the movie Click, y'all.
Hood conspiracy
They tell us in the
theory that we be
movies.
seeing where police be playing dog noises in the hood to fuck with the people's minds. I got another one. Helicopter noises. Helicopters, period. Every time at nighttime at a specific time, there's always a helicopter in my neighborhood. Every night at a specific time around the same time. Don't know helicopters fly throughout the day. They barely airplanes, but helicopters is another one I want to add to that hood conspiracy. And I know the difference when a helicopter is looking for somebody versus when it's just flying around in the neighborhood. If they're looking for somebody, the flash is on. But every time that the helicopter is flying around, the flash is not on.
That's one that Bob and I have discussed on multitudes of occasions.
Oh yeah.
The upside down being a parallel universe. And the thing that we talk about too is we believe that CERN actually destroyed our timeline in, what was it, 2012 when they fired it up the first time and discovered the God particle. And we have jumped timelines, and that explains a lot of, you know, it could explain ghosts, demons, UFOs, but the biggest one for us is all these Mandela effects that are going on. You know, they, in a different timeline, they were different.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that was a real thing.
It was a real thing. And I mean, how many times you like, I would die on that hill because I know as a kid it was this.
Right.
You
like,
know?
why would I say Berenstein Bears if it was Berenstain Bears?
Right.
Like I read that book 1,000 times when I was a little kid, so I know it said Steen on it.
Yeah.
Right. So I growing up, I never would have said Stein if it wasn't Stein. If it was Stain, then I would have said Stain.
And you know what's funny is I remember a Fruit of the Loom commercial where they were standing in a cornucopia.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, so to say there's no cornucopia,
I remember that
there
one, too.
absolutely was. So,
I remember Macy's parade float where they were in the cornucopia in their little suits out there. And
maybe that's what I remember. Is
I
that.
remember thinking,
Sinbad.
like, it's way too cold to be wearing that grape suit out there. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? This is the 80s. It wasn't like modern days where they hide heaters in the parade floats. Like, nah, bro, you were just out there freezing.
Right.
The Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's this vast landscape. It's a lot of trailers and very dilapidated housing. It is a wild place. Like, some statistics say that 80% of the people there of the adults are addicted to meth and alcohol. Bootlegging is a huge business. You have grandmas selling vodka to kids. It's a very wild place, and also the youth there has copied drill rap culture, and anyone that copies drill rap culture, death, destruction, violence.
After more than officially 50 years now, investigators just identified a brand new subject in the D.B. Cooper case, and they found him by analyzing microscopic metal particles in his tie. Okay, so if you're somebody that doesn't know, or you want a little bit of a refresh, D.B. Cooper is the guy that hijacked a plane back in 1971. This guy was able to get $200,000 in ransom money and a parachute, and then he jumped out somewhere over Washington State, and he was never seen again. This is literally the most known, but also the only unsolved skyjacking in American history. The FBI officially closed the case entirely back in 2016, but an investigator named Eric Ollis never gave up. He was actually able to get scientists to go analyze Cooper's tie, the one that he left on the plane, and they found microscopic metal particles that could only have come from one place. And that one place, which would have been the only one available at this time, would have come from a factory in Pittsburgh that worked with rare titanium alloys. So Ollis went and he dug into who worked there, and he landed on a guy named Vince Peterson, which is a metallurgist that was about 6'1". And the reason why that's such a big deal is because that matches witness descriptions exactly. Peterson's daughter actually gave investigators a sealed envelope from her father that he sent in 1961. His DNA was still on the stamp, and they could potentially match it to DNA on the tie. Whether you think that they finally just got him or not, this case might actually get solved after 50 years.
Pep, I want to renegotiate the contract, my contract.
That deal was your soul for Feynman fortune.
Did not deliver. Yes. Yeah. But the aging process we didn't address it. Another soul for another 50 years.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? You don't even have to be religious to follow me on this one. We can all agree that the only thing that we take with us when we go is our soul. Physical things, this t-shirt, anything, does not come with you. So why would anyone ever want to trade that for worldly things, for literal pieces of matter that you are only going to leave behind? Trust me when I say there isn't a worse off deal to have ever existed in the whole entire existence of this world. And whether you feel ulterior motives or this video we just watched is a parody, my point still stands as strongly either way.
If you can't see it, you are just blind. Watch this.
Can't seem to agree on anything anymore except for two things. Pizza and us. And us.
What? And this clip is even worse.
You don't like cheese pizza?
I do like cheese pizza.
Well, you just said you don't like cheese pizza.
That isn't cheese pizza. I want some from Pizza Hut.
Alright.
And this is cherry on top.
Each other for years. Yeah. You've been to my house. We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza. It's so much fun. Now
Parties are incredible in her house too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza.
Wonderful pizza.
So one thing that I can't able to understand is that why they always talk about pizza. Most of these award shows, most of these interviews, or all of these videos that are very important to these celebrities, they always mention the word pizza. Like, pizza parties are very enjoying, pizza is good, this is cheese pizza, this is that pizza, and have you tried that pizza? What the fuck is that pizza? Tell me what you all think about that, because I don't know what is going on here in Hollywood, because Hollywood is a wholly weird place.
I'll put it to you like this. I ain't had the flu in like 10 years. I ain't gonna cap it to you, I ain't had the flu in like 10 years, and I think it's because I couldn't afford to have the flu.
What? Listen. Okay, hold on. Was you going to go get flu shots?
Hell no.
The flu shot is influenza. They're giving you a small dosage of the flu so your body can get accustomed to it, so when you do get it, it don't kill you. So if you don't go get the flu shot, you can build up a natural resistance so you're not gonna get the goddamn flu. In order to perpetuate Big Pharma, they have to make you sick to sell you the medicine. Because the flu shot is free.
So you saying, so you suggesting that they give you the flu shot at that point, you contagious and everybody you touch?
Yes.
Ooh, that make cool.
Because the flu shot is free. When do they give you something for free?
Well, explain
Medical
this.
wise,
trying to figure this out. I've been trying to figure this out for a long time, Jay. And I went to a white school and I went to a black school. When I was at the black school, they called me to the nurse and they drew my blood, but at the white school they didn't. Why they do that for?
See,
doing testing on it.
Now see, when they do shit like that, they are doing cooling. In our community, we carry a lot of different blood types. Some of the rarest blood types come from black people. Like my boy Biz, he got AB negative. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the rarest you ever gonna find.
They really do different things at different ethnicity heavy schools, right? When I was growing up, I went to a heavy Hispanic Mexican school, right? They had bilingual classes, all that at this school. And then I switched to another school that was in a nice area, upper middle class area, and it is very different how they treat the kids there, how they teach the kids there to the lower income places. It really is, y'all.
People who I know are in the know, and I've mentioned this before, and one of them told me the truth is...
Like, one thing I just remembered right now, sorry. The school, now they're all kind of like this, but back then, the school I went to in the lower poverty area, gated, locked gates, everything. When I went to the newer school, it was wide open, y'all. Wide open. You can walk in the middle of the street if you wanted to at that school. Now, because of what's going on with the climate, everything's gated. All the schools are gated, bulletproof doors and all that. But back then, the school I went to was gated, and the other school was what? And it wasn't no cheap gate. Like, it was iron gates.
Indigestible. It's not something that we could, that we would be able to fully grasp or entertain, and that it's like, you know, it would be like telling somebody something that they can't do anything about and they don't know what the repercussions of that would be. It's so great. It's so world changing and transformational, and maybe not in a good way, you know? So,
I mean, what could be so
Religion.
jarring? What could be so disruptive? I mean, bless you.
Thank you.
Like the idea that we're being visited by another advanced intelligence that's more advanced than us. I mean, do you think
Religious wise,
or is it something else?
I think it's much deeper than.
What's the darkest thing you've seen at an influencer party?
So there's this house in Beverly Hills that I went to, and there was just.
So this guy, right? Be a little quick interruption before I even see the clip because I haven't seen it. But he goes to those parties, y'all. There's a reason why he's in front of Congress. There's a reason why he's on all these Fox News. There's a reason why he's all over podcasts. There's a reason why he's getting millions and millions of views. Because he goes to these parties and he's gonna act innocent. I didn't involve myself with them. He's friends with them, y'all.
Like,
let's see.
There are these things I didn't even know what they were at the time. They're called like whippets. And they're like all over the floor. And there's this one man. He was like a 40-year-old man, and he had like all these 18-year-old girls around him. And I remember just like looking at him. He was like on drugs. He had everything you could possibly want. He was rich. He had all these girls, but he was just empty inside. He had a house in the hills, and I remember leaving that party thinking like, that's not what life's about. Like, these people actually aren't happy. And I felt like there was like a large presence of the devil inside of LA when I was there for that short period of time. And I remember going to these parties, see like the people you'd see on your For You page on TikTok and Instagram and everything like that. And you just kind of saw that they were actually very empty inside. They would go get drunk at these parties thinking they'd be fulfilled and they're making all this money, but they go get drunk and do these drugs, and there'd be 40-year-old men with all these younger girls who are trying to get a few dollars or get followers. And I thought that was very empty, and I thought that was very almost satanic in a way, where these people were doing everything, but they also had nothing at the same time. They had no family around them. They had no friends with good interest. They just were there quite literally for the money and for the followers. I remember leaving LA, and I was just like, I'd never want to feel like that or experience anything like that again. Like, that's not what life is about.
It's funny that they always leave the Diddy party before midnight, right? Everyone. I was out before midnight, right? I left LA. But I'm about to go to LA to expose them. I'm gonna go live in LA for a little while. Telling you, y'all, don't trust these people. Don't. You come off like sweet Christian man, right? I'm for the people. I don't trust them. Everything, y'all. The meat, the veggies, the fruit. We already know that stuff on the inside.
I was just gonna say, do you think there's something more sinister to
absolutely,
like the
all
collection of DNA from Nephilim potentially in the government? And what are your thoughts or theories on that?
When we broke the story on the Kandahar giant, that's our story. That's Richard Shaw and my story. It's our story.
No way.
That's our story. We broke the story on it. That's our film. But we talked of a shooter. We talked of a second witness. We disguised their voice and blotted out their faces. That's our stuff.
Do you mind just giving a rundown of that?
Rick was on a show talking about our Watchers series, and as he's doing that, there's a caller that calls in, and so the show ends, but the host holds the caller over because they're talking off air. And this guy, we call him the shooter. Yeah, I saw a giant. I was in the Kandahar province. We shot it. And Rick goes, "Oh my gosh!" And they get phone numbers, emails. I'm on the phone with this guy the next day, and I spoke to the shooter 3 or 4 times. I met him in person in Ohio, and then we flew him out to California. We filmed him. So we vetted him first. He showed me all of his cards, all of his military stuff, blah, blah, blah. And every time he talks about the encounter, one part he breaks down and cries. He did it 3 or 4 times before we even got him on film. And so the story is this, that it's 2002, 2001, somewhere in that. If I could go back and look at the exact, I just don't remember it. But right around in that. So we're in Afghanistan. We're looking for high value targets. American military looking for high value targets in Afghanistan. And a patrol is dispatched. They miss their rally point. They miss their second rally point, their third rally point. Nobody knows where these guys are, and they're gone. So the next morning, another patrol is dispatched to the same location to try to follow this trail, see where they go. So they begin to follow the trail in the Kandahar province. And they find themselves way up high, overlooking the valley. There's like a cliff, very wide cliff, like a ledge, but it's not really a ledge. It's more like 20 or 30 feet, across. So you could camp there if you wanted to. And above that ledge is a cave. And as they're coming around the corner and they see all this, they start to see what looks like parts of radios, parts of uniforms, bones, blood. They're freaking out. And before anybody can do anything, a nightmare comes out of the cave, because that's what it is. A 12-footer, 14-footer, and he's got flaming red hair, 6 fingers, 6 toes. He is screaming at the top of his lungs. He is brandishing a lance, and he's like this. And one of the men break away and start firing at this.
A filmmaker asked this astronaut a simple question.
Would you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon?
And shockingly, he does it.
Your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand.
But then seconds later, he doesn't believe the Bible is a gospel of anything. So why swear on something that you don't believe in?
Of eternal damnation.
I don't believe in that, but
if you
have eternal damnation.
That I walked on the moon on Apollo 14.
That I walked on the moon on Apollo 14.
Then the interviewer tells him that he's the first astronaut to swear, and the others refused.
Well, you're the first astronaut to do that. We asked 6 other astronauts to swear on the Bible, and they refused to do it.
But watch, his energy suddenly flips.
Because we have proof that would prove it in a court of law that Apollo 11 didn't go to the moon.
If you continue this, and if you press this, I will personally take you to court.
And then it gets wild. He starts insulting him, threatening him, telling him to get out of his house. Why did a simple question like that trigger him?
Yeah, I appreciate it. And get the hell out of my house.
Something here does not add up. Tell me what you think.
Did you guys see what the show Fallout on Amazon Prime just showed the people who are watching it? We're talking about Season 2, Episode 4, which released January 7th, 2026. Keep in mind, I'm sure these shows take many months to produce. This girl pulls out an ID card. This guy pulls out a girl's ID card. United States annexed territory of Canada. Okay, I'm telling you, this is going to happen. It says 2045. I think a lot sooner. Now, the question is, are they just using something that's happening today and including it in the show as a cool thing? Or are they predictive programming people? I don't think it's going to be 2045, dude. I think it's going to be soon. Look how quick Greenland's already going to be scooped up in 2 seconds here. Canada's next. And I'm not saying this is good or bad, but I think there's a bigger reason they want Canada to be part of the United States, and not just for security purposes, put it that way. And I know a lot of people are stoked who are in Canada. It's not even quite 50-50. Like, some people are stoked. They think if America takes over Canada, maybe we won't be controlled so bad by this current government, which many people are not pleased with. Other people say we'll never be part of the United States. Mark Carney's doing an amazing job. But anyways, I wonder exactly what's going to happen here. But I was shocked to see it on Amazon freaking Prime. Someone sent me that clip. And this episode is called The Demon in the Snow. Whoa, is that calling Canada a demon? Dang, man. So my question is this, though. Next on the chopping block would be, it was going to be Venezuela and Colombia, because those are the top 2 tip countries of South America. Of course, the rest would be Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Cuba, Dominican, Puerto Rico. That's already part of the U.S. That was talked about many, 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 many years ago to merge all those countries into one. So let me know your thoughts. Is this a great idea or is something else going on here? Comment your thoughts below and follow for more.
Let's not even talk about this one. That is some odd-looking building trying to fit in with the rest of this old world stuff.
Did y'all see Katy Perry at Davos? No? Look at this. I'll let y'all watch it one more time before I show you the still shots. Was Katy Perry refurbished? If you look very, very closely at her face right here, it appears that she's just devoid of all human emotions.
I was going to say,
let me show you the enhanced version, though. Crazy, right? Remember, she's with Justin Trudeau, which is very high up on the political totem pole. You can say I'm reaching all you want, but that right there is not a regular, everyday human. I mean, they told us in 2009 at a Super Bowl ad that none of them are actually human. You remember?
What are you gonna do, turn off your TV and your computer? Once your brains are reduced to a cottage cheese like mush, we'll scoop them out with a melon bowler and gobble them right on up. Oops. I think I'm drooling a little. Because we're aliens. And that's how we roll. Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
I got something big to tell y'all. My reaction just now was a real-time revelation. Oh my goodness. I told y'all a little bit about the insider Lockheed Martin and what the ending looked like. They always tell you the truth. That video is coming. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Okay,
Jeez.
so Megan sleeps with this heating pad, and look, yes, we can see it.
not
She hasn't
good.
laid on it tonight. This is just how her skin is now. Do you think that's normal?
That's
Megan,
not
turn around,
good.
look at me. Look at it's fine. I promise.
Do you remember the MTV show called Fear? I do, and when it first premiered back in 2000, I was spooked. The show followed contestants who would have cameras and radios, and you watch as they entered supposed haunted locations with a violent history. And if they were able to complete challenges inside the location, they won a cash prize. Some of the places that they visited included Western Virginia State Penitentiary, St. Agnes Hospital, and the Buck Hill Inn. The contestants were blindfolded and taken to the location's safe house where they are tasked with completing the challenges only at night. These challenges ranged from sitting in a supposed haunted room, from performing mock exorcisms with holy water. Now, contestants would be able to quit, but they would lose out on the cash prize. Unfortunately, the show was canceled after only 2 seasons. Not because it wasn't popular, but because of the high cost of producing each episode. There was also a rumor that a contestant had died, and that's why it was canceled, but that turned out not to be true. So, do you remember the show? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.
Did you know the government hires drivers to make rush hour more stressful so that when you get home to with your family, you're pissed off, tired, stressed, and less likely to overthrow the government?
All right, family. There you have today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know what to do if you made it this far. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Got to get 2 videos edited. I got my second channel done before this one, so I got to get those both edited, get them out to the people. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I got a lot to do right now. I'm going to do this, get it done, get some breakfast in me, and get ready for the family to be here. Y'all, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on the next one, right? This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'll see you then. Y'all have a good day. Later.